Okay, I already made this video. It was 15 minutes long. I didn't realize that the direct uploads can only be 15 minutes long. So here I go again. But now that I got everything out the last time, this should be much more concise. So let's talk about today. Today is Sunday, May 22nd, 2011. And today was my day of rest. That's what today was. The day of rest that I did not get yesterday, I got that today. That's right. I did nothing. I laid around the house with Rob. I watched TV. I played with my son. We went out to eat. We'll talk about that later. Don't worry. We walked around the casinos downtown. We went to the Tropicana and had a good time tonight. Walked around, just enjoyed being a family. We just had a nice family Sunday, which is what I wanted. But the day started off with some really greatness mentally. And I wrote some of these down because it's important for me to make sure that I mention these people and that I get their names right and everything. My 100-pound meltdown. She was the first video that I watched today. And in her video, she gave me a little shout out because I guess she watches my vlogs and enjoys them a lot, and was just kind of thanking me for doing what I do every day with these vlogs and the effort that I put in them. Thank you for that. But she also said something in talking about other things in her video. She said something about how it's okay. This isn't a race. This is your journey. Your journey is going to be different from the person down the road. Your weight loss is going to be different from hers or his or hers or his. This is your journey. Make it what you want to. It's not a race to see who gets there first. That hit inside here when she said that. The next video I watched was Extremely Melissa, where she talked about stress. And she talked about how the stresses of life, she allowed them to get to her this past week. And although I haven't had a very stressful life this past week, I'm done with school and I've just kind of been lazing about and just going to the gym or whatever, which has been very nice. But I've realized the amount of stress that I'm putting on myself as it pertains to weight loss. And the last video that I watched was Jonesy90's vlog, P90X Day 20. Where in the beginning, she had a portion in the beginning of her video where she sat down and actually physically wrote down on paper the things that she likes about herself physically, meaning regarding her appearance on the outside, and things that she likes about herself, just who she is as a person, character, beliefs, things like that, how she is, And that also made me think, because I often am I'm very demanding on myself, and I'm very hard on myself, and I rarely take compliments, not because I cannot, but because I feel as though I'm undeserving of those compliments, because I don't know, I do get a lot of compliments from those of you that watch, and you say, you've come so far, you've done so great, and logically, I know that. Logically, I know that 80 plus pounds of weight loss is an amazing feat, and that is something to just be jumping off the roofs about. But there's this little voice in my head that says, you don't do enough. You don't deserve to feel good about this. You are not what these people think. When I get told, you inspire me, you're inspirational, you motivate me, there's this sick little voice in my head that says, you don't deserve that, what they're saying. It's not true. You don't do anything to inspire them. You're fooling these people. That's what this little voice says in my head. And that's what I mean by being too hard on myself. And it's something that I started to work on in the beginning of all of this. I started to work on trying to accept compliments and really accepting them and really thanking people when I would get them. And I still work on that, but I realized that instead of so much working on it, I just fake it. And I just say, oh, thank you. But I let that voice take over in my head and make me feel as though I don't deserve those things. And then, of course, I start to want to eat, to take that voice away, to quiet that voice, to make me feel better. which is stupid because then when I eat, I gain, and then when I gain, I feel bad. So it's, you guys know, it's the vicious cycle. It's the vicious cycle, the vicious circle of food addiction, food problems that we all obviously have issues with. So all of these vlogs together, plus this one, 808 Losers sent 808 Losers made a video to a podcast that Jillian Michaels did. And within the podcast, Jillian got a call from a woman who was 5'8", about 170 or so pounds. This woman, as she said within the podcast, her body is built like a machine. She is, a bigger woman, muscular build, and like me, like a bigger build and everything. But it doesn't look bad on her because she's built like a machine and she's an athlete. She runs marathons or triathlons or whatever she said she does. And anyways, but she is trying to get down to like the 150s, much like I am. And even though she's a couple inches taller than me, I guess I could technically go lower. So, but whatever. Anyways, let's not get into that. So, but what Jillian was telling her was that you need to focus on your calorie deficit. It should be no more than 500 to 600 of a calorie deficit a day. This woman was working out twice a day, much like I do, and therefore was probably well within 1,000 or so of a calorie deficit each day, or more than that. So it was just a ridiculous amount of a deficit, and her body was not losing the weight because it was holding on to everything she was putting into it because it knew it wasn't going to get any more. Do you see what I'm saying? So anyways, basically, Jillian was coaching her on the fact that that's what your calorie deficit should be. And when you're eating foods, you need to cut out all processed crap. You need to have lean meats and proteins, fruits and vegetables, water, good foods, no crap, basically. And I sat there and I thought, this is what I do. This is what I do already. So technically, according to what Jillian Michaels is saying, who I love her, by the way, just going to put that out there. But according to what Jillian Michaels is saying, I'm doing it right. I'm doing it right. But something else she said to the woman was, it's just going to take time. And you're going to have to be patient with your body and the changes and when it wants to make these changes. And you're going to have to be very diligent and determined and focused and keep doing. Don't stop and have a whole cake to yourself because you threw off all the work that you just did. So that really spoke to me. And it made me think about a couple things that I've been doing that I haven't been quite honest with you guys about. And it's not really horrible, I guess, when I think about it, but I mean, it's not been helpful. I've been a victim of the late night snacks, basically. It'd be like 8, 9 o'clock at night. And although in the beginning of this month I said my main rule was going to be no eating after 8 o'clock, dude, I go to the cabinets and I'm like, I'll have one of the baby's cookies. Okay, two. Oh, you know what? It'd be nice to have a little juice. I'm going to have a little bit of his apple juice. Okay, just a little bit. Whole glass. I just snack. It's ridiculous. And that's going to stop. And the reason why it's going to stop is because I'm going to stop stressing myself out. Much like my 100-pound meltdown said, this is not a race. Why am I putting added stress on myself? Much like Extremely Melissa was saying in her vlog. Before the Chicago meetup the other year, she put so much stress on herself about having to get to her 75-pound mark loss that she only got to like a 0.1 before the meetup of a loss because she was putting so much stress on herself, where if she would have just relaxed and kept the course and stayed doing what she was already doing, she might have seen a 2-pound loss that week. But putting all this added pressure and stress on myself, this is what's killing me. I do believe it. I really do. And I am an emotional eater. That's always been my problem. And I feel like I eat more than what I normally would when I'm stressed out. And my meals, I mean, they're a certain size, but my snacking has been out of control. And even if they're healthy snacks, that's not okay. That's not okay. So I said all that basically to say this. I am bringing it back to the basics. And I definitely mean it. This week, tomorrow, Monday, is definitely a new week and a new way of thinking for me. I am still going to track calories. I'm still going to work out like I do. I'm still going to, shoot for a calorie deficit every day. I'm still going to use my heart rate monitor. I'm still going to do all that. But when I say I'm going to go back to the basics, I'm going to go back to being happy and being excited about just being healthy. I know that you guys watch my vlogs every day, and in general, I'm happy Julie, and I'm positive, and I'm determined, and I'm focused, and I am those things. But somehow, when the camera is off and it's the end of the day and I'm laying in bed, I've lost that happiness. I've lost that feeling good about myself, feeling good about what I did that day. I've lost my enjoyment in the journey. And to me, that's what it's all about. It's about learning to love yourself in a different way, or just learning to love yourself in general. Love yourself enough to eat healthy. Love yourself enough not to binge so that you're so full you feel like you're going to throw up. That's not loving yourself. So I guess what I'm saying is I have not been loving myself lately. And today, I did love myself. You want to know why I say that? Because yes, we went out to eat. Yeah, I'm throwing in the towel with this stupid no going out to eat challenge, because that was just another way of me throwing all this added stress on me. For what reason? Because to tell you the truth, guys, I never did go out to eat that much. Excuse me. I never did go out to eat that much. Ever. Maybe going to the Wawa for a cup of coffee before class. What's the problem with that? I really don't think that's a big deal. So why did I do this to myself? More stress. That's why. That's the name of the game with me. That's what I do to myself. I think up all these little things that I can force on myself so that I'm doing this and doing that and doing this and doing that. I am a person who doesn't feel like they're doing enough until they're overwhelmed. And that's got to stop. That's got to stop. So that challenge is done. Bert, you're welcome to keep doing it if that's what you want to do, but I'm done with that. And no more challenges whatsoever. I'm tempted to even say that my goal date of July 25th, Jeremiah's second birthday, is no longer a goal date anymore. And it's not in a bad way. It's not me giving up. It's just me saying I don't want to put an ending date on a journey that is supposed to be basically infinite. We're going to be doing this for the rest of our lives, We're always going to be trying to better ourselves and trying to better our health and better our habits of eating and things like that. If any of you out there think that you're just going to get to your goal and then be able to go eat a whole pizza again whenever you want, you're getting ready for a rude awakening, because that's not going to happen. That's not what it's about. It's not about getting to your goal, looking good for a party or an event or something, and then after that, just, going and doing what you were doing before and gaining everything right back, only to feel shitty again. It's not what it's about. So why am I putting this end date on there? Why am I putting that stress on myself? I don't know. Alright, so we're getting close to 14 minutes, and I know this is going to cut off at 15. So that is the vlog for today. These are the things that were rolling around in my head today. And it's all good. It's all positive. This is all one. I feel great right now. I feel like I've really figured a lot of things out today. A lot. And I'll obviously be chatting more about this probably tomorrow and throughout this next week to let you know of new decisions that I'm coming up with. But I am revamping what I'm doing. Maybe not with my exercise, maybe not with what I'm eating, but just with my journey in general and how I'm thinking about things. So that's it, guys. I'm going to end it. 14:30. Okay, I'm done. You guys, I hope you had a wonderful Sunday, and I will see you guys in the morning. Good night.